Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metropolis Radio. And yeah, the Book of Boba Fett's not doing nearly as well as I would have thought, and I think many of you would have thought. But before we go any further, guys, just remember that at least one of my videos every week is exclusive to my BitChute and Odyssey channels. The links to those are down below in the description. So with that out of the way, let's get right into this. This article from Forbes here. The Book of Boba Fett audience reviews are well below every other major Disney Plus show. Huh. I wonder why. Well, you don't need to wonder because we're going to go into quite a few reasons later on in this video. The Book of Boba Fett is struggling to connect with audiences in the same way pretty much of all Disney Plus's other major productions have been able to since the streaming service's inception. Across 2 seasons of The Mandalorian and 5 major Marvel shows, The Book of Boba Fett is getting the lowest audience reviews by quite a... crap. Sorry guys, wrong pipe with that one. Let me restart. The Book of Boba Fett is getting the lowest audience reviews by quite a wide margin as shown via Rotten Tomatoes. While the Book of Boba Fett's 90% critic score is pretty good, that's an average of only 6 scored reviews total, but with 1,000 audience reviews in, here's where it stands. And I will be splashing up all of the various Rotten Tomatoes scores on the screen here. So we're starting off with Marvel Studios' What If, audience score of 95%. The Mandalorian Season 1, audience score of 92%. Hawkeye, an audience score of 92%. Loki, audience score of 91%. The Mandalorian Season 2, audience score of 90%. WandaVision, audience score of 88%. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, audience score of 85%. The Book of Boba Fett, 65%. And as of the recording of this video, that score has actually now gone down to 63% audience score. I believe the 90% has remained the same. If it hasn't, I will put a correction at the bottom of the video right here. As you can see, the Book of Boba Fett is not just last. It's last by being 20% lower than the former last place. Again, now 22% lower. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And actually, their data is wrong. I'm going to pause the recording, and I will come back and actually give you the hard numbers as to how much lower that the scores are down by. Okay, guys, so I actually have the hard numbers. If you're actually basing this on a score of 1 to 100, then yes, the Book of Boba Fett is 23 points lower than the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But the actual statistic, how much, what's the difference between the Falcon and the Winter Soldier score and the Book of Boba Fett score is actually a 25.8% drop. Once you actually break down the numbers. So it's close enough. I wanted to do some quick math just to verify. But anyway, back to the article. So what's going on here? Fans have come up with a few different complaints over the course of the first 3 episodes. I believe as of the recording and uploading of this video, episode 4 is now out. So here's the first complaint. Boba Fett seems a lot kinder than many were expecting, and he spared the life of a whole bunch of enemies and would-be assassins in the first few episodes here. Yeah, they basically turned Boba Fett into a little bitch. The most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy, but now it's, let me spare everybody's life. And for a show like the Book of Boba Fett, following the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy, you would think that this would be a very dark and very gritty show. The violence was going to get cranked up even higher than The Mandalorian, and it's been really, really tame. I only got past the first episode, and as soon as I saw that they were taming the violence, it's like, I have absolutely no interest now. Because you basically took a show that should have been dark and gritty. This should have been a show that should have been on the FX network, to be fair. And you Disneyfied it. That's the nicer way of putting it. I would personally say that they pussified it, but let's just keep it with they Disneyfied it. Here's the second point. Boba Fett has his helmet off and is talking a lot. Having his helmet off doesn't bother me. But the fact that Boba Fett is talking so much, especially in that first episode, it's like, what made Boba Fett so compelling was that he was a man of few words. Do you know, guys? Do you know how many lines Boba Fett had in the original trilogy? Well, that depends if you count the Wilhelm scream that he had in Return of the Jedi as he was going into the Sarlacc pit. If you count that, he only had 5 lines in the original trilogy. 4 of those lines being in The Empire Strikes Back. And like I said, then you have the Wilhelm scream in Return of the Jedi. Some people consider it, some people don't. But still, here's a character with only 5 lines, and you've now taken those 5 lines and exponentially given him a lot more to speak on. Anyway, so much so that even star Tamura Morrison has said in interviews that he thinks Fett talks too much and needs to stay mysterious. Yes, and I will show you that interview right here.
Part of what made Boba Fett so cool and mysterious in the originals was how rarely he spoke. How did you go about keeping that edginess while adding all the dialogue in for the new series?
Yes, I wasn't very successful. I was hoping not to say as much as I have already in the first 2 episodes. I speak far too much. In fact, in the beginning, I was trying to get past my lines on to Ming-Na.
Yes,
and I'd always say, excuse me, director, I really feel that Ming-Na should say these lines because I want to stay mysterious. Right. I want to stay quiet.
But then I caught on. He wasn't just trying to be a very generous actor, which he is. He was just trying to parlay some of the work to me.
Yes. Shirking his responsibility.
So yeah, but and even when, because obviously John's one of the key writers. So and so sometimes I'd always say, I think this is too much. I think this is too much. Then I'd go to, what was the other guy's name? Noah. I'd try and get.
Oh, Noah. Yes, Noah Noor. Mm-hmm.
I remember, of course, John actually went away to Atlanta. So I rang Noah that night and I said, Noah, the scene tomorrow, I'm talking too much. This Boba doesn't talk this much. Look, I've got all these paragraphs here. I think we should get rid of it. And John's gone to Atlanta, so don't tell him. And then next minute that morning on set, I get a call from Atlanta. John wants you to say all that dialogue and he'll cut it out later. So he was even keeping an eye on us way back, from all areas. But again, I had to start talking, I guess, otherwise we had to fill in the gaps and give out a little bit of information. And right. Ming's such a wonderful person to share my thoughts with too. So, but yes, I think I did speak a bit too much in answer to your question.
It's sad when the main actor understands the character better than the showrunners. That should give you some pause for concern. But anyway, let's get back to this. Here's the third point. Some don't like the action choreography, particularly in the Robert Rodriguez directed episodes 1 and 3, which featured an awkward street fight scene and an awkward car chase accordingly. Well, I don't know if this is true, but what I've heard is that they had to tone down the action sequences because Tamura Morrison has arthritis. Again, I don't know if it's true. It's something I read on the internet. And again, boys and girls, you know what they say. You know the old joke about the internet, right? The old joke about the internet. Oh, you can never tell a lie on the internet. Oh, really? Where'd you hear that? The internet. Anyway, and here's the fourth point. In episode 3, there were a lot of complaints about the mod aesthetic of the youth gang and debates about whether or not it felt right on Tatooine, regardless of whether or not George Lucas did in fact love colorful hot rods. Oh, you mean the wonderful crossover between Star Wars and Power Rangers. At one point Disney did own the rights to Power Rangers. And there were a shit ton of memes after this episode aired, and I'm gonna share one of them. I'm gonna say this: I am not the creator of the meme that I am about to show you, but there are so many similar ones, and I have seen this one posted around a lot. So let's go ahead and let's now actually view that meme.
Get up!
the Power Rangers. All right, I'm gonna move on from the Power Rangers, and here's the fifth and final point. Overall, there's just sort of a general sense of why does this show need to exist when we already have the Mandalorian? And many fans feel like the Mandalorian was already kind of the Boba Fett show they wanted to see, while the actual Boba Fett show feels like it's starring a new character entirely. And that one I will give you. Why does this show even need to exist? You know, why can't they keep Boba Fett mysterious? This is the problem. And in fact, Star Wars Dark Empire, the comic story, the Dark Horse Comics storyline, it began in 91, ended in 92. They dealt with how Boba Fett came out of the Sarlacc pit. And you know how they handled it? I believe they said something to the effect of, well, the Sarlacc found me quite indigestible. And that was it. You didn't see how he got out of the Sarlacc pit? He left it vague and mysterious, and you're thinking, holy fuck, can anybody kill this guy? Can anyone like genuinely hurt him? Can anyone genuinely present a challenge? But no, let's show him get out of the Sarlacc pit and then see all of it, and then see a random Jawa knock him out and steal all of his armor, and then get captured by Tusken Raiders like a little bitch. There are some things that are best left unsaid. I would have rather the showrunners not shown how Boba Fett got out of the Sarlacc pit. Just leave it mysterious. How'd you get out of the... If any character asked him, oh my god, Boba, how'd you get out of the Sarlacc pit? Make a vague and mysterious line and you're done. Just, keep it to a few words. That's it. Preserve the mystery of the character. Anyway, back to here, the final paragraph here. There are only 7 total episodes in the series, so 4 more to go. Well, as of the recording and uploading this video, actually 3 more to go. It's not clear whether this is meant to be something that extends into a second season or be a one-off. With this kind of reception, it's possible it may be the latter, and simply make way for other shows that are on the way, like Obi-Wan and Ahsoka. But so far, it's only working part of the time, and that may not be enough. And here's gonna be the real litmus test. How is Obi-Wan gonna be handled? And the ultimate question now being is, was the Mandalorian just right place, right time? Is the Mandalorian just the one-hit wonder kind of thing? Again, depending on how they handle the Obi-Wan series, that question is going to be answered. But right now, we simply can't answer it because comparing, Book of Boba Fett to Mandalorian right now is not really a fair comparison. We need a few more shows to judge it against to ultimately answer the question of, was the Mandalorian just a one-hit wonder? Was it just right place, right time? So guys, I'm going to go ahead and truly end it right here, and actually let me know what you guys think of the Book of Boba Fett so far. Again, I gave up after the very first episode, and after hearing what happened in episode 3, where they basically brought back all of the Power Rangers with the exception of the Black Ranger, I'm kind of glad that I stopped watching. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and truly end it right here. So if you stuck around this long, thanks so much for doing so. And if you've been following me on, I'm terrible at ending these videos, so I will just see you guys next time.